So let's go into some drill work. All right. So starting off with some trigger drills. Okay. So I love doing a lot of these with a pop-up bag. So you got me here with the pop-up bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewind this and I'm just going to let this play so it doesn't come through choppy. But what we're doing here is we're getting the guy about as close as they can get to that bag, about a foot away. And he's going to react off my trigger, right? So I'm going to move that bag either to the right or to the left. When he does that, he's going to step with the back foot and get rid of the ball as fast as possible. So I tell him, I don't want to wait for that front foot to get back in the ground. The second that back foot gets in the ground, whether it's going forward or backwards, they need to put that thing in the ground and then now start your hand speed, right? We should be feeling that foot get in the ground and get rid of it and see our hand speed go. And so this is a really simple drill, but it's one where they're reacting to a stimulus, they're making a quick movement, and they're trying to get the ball out as quick as possible. This is a 10-yard throw. This is nothing fancy, but what we're trying to do, like I said, is we're trying to create that sense of urgency. We're trying to create that sense of, hey, like we got to get rid of it fast, and to develop a great trigger, we have to do it with drill work. So this is just base, pop up with a trigger. We're just stepping out and creating the throwing lane. Okay, here it is again. I like integrating. I was the quarterbacks coach at Columbia before I was here at CMU. So just different angles, but I think it's important to show, different schools and different places because fundamentals are what we teach and they have to show up right consistently. And so what it's consistently taught. So yet again, this is a 10-yard throw, nothing fancy. You can really see 5 did a great job there putting his back foot in the ground. Get rid of it. 11 had a little extra step there that we like to get rid of. 10 is pretty darn good at it. Sometimes he false steps, but pretty good. So you can see like we're trying to create that sense of urgency. So now, now we're going to do the pop-up trigger, but we're going to rip around the bag. And so what we're doing is you can see now what we're doing is kind of trying to create a little bit of ball security with it. And instead of stepping kind of laterally, right now we're kind of stepping more on a downhill here. So we're kind of ripping through contact. Now the idea is as I step forward, the second I get that back foot in the ground, when I step forward, so it's going to be front foot, back foot, ball, front foot, back foot, ball, right? We're yet again creating that trigger. The second that they feel that back foot hit the ground, they should be starting off their trigger. So when you watch these clips, you'll really see front foot, back foot, ball, right? And so trying to create that. And I think this is really important. And this translates over really well into the drop back pass game because you're going to have pocket movements and you're going to need to trigger quickly as guys move through the pocket. So kind of taking it from the last drill to this drill is a progression. But right now here it is the other way. So now we're stepping up with a little bit of pressure on our backside. Front foot, back foot, ball. All right. And then the last one, now we're going to slide. So now we've done it from right behind the bag, just stepping. We kind of ripped forward. Now we're going to start on one side of the bag and get to the other side of the bag. So now we're sliding in the pocket. And the idea here is yet again, let's move around that bag. And the second that we come around the bag, we slide around the bag. You'll see here as they come around the bag, they get that back foot, that right foot in the ground and trigger it. That's a really nice rep there by 2. Boom. The second 5 gets around it. He's sliding around it. Boom. Ball's out. So mimicking different movements, all with the same idea of triggering the ball. Not crazy big throws. You can see in a pretty short video, a minute video, everyone's getting a couple reps. It's kind of moving round robin, right? But we're just trying to reinforce, our fundamentals. So that's kind of our trigger pop-up stuff. Now, RPO box drill. RPO box drill is something that we do a lot. It's a drill I've been doing, honestly, for almost 10 years now. What I'm trying to create is a box. So I'll just pull the video and kind of pause it. All right. So what we're trying to create is a box. All right. So it's about a 1 by 1 by 1 box kind of going around, and we're going to sit in the middle of it. And the thought process is we're going to be in the box. When we throw the ball, at least 1 foot should still be in the box. The reason why we do this is we're going to ball handle. So we're going to do some type of mesh point, and then we're going to pull the throw off of reading me. So right now it's a second level defender. I'm like an overhang, kind of outside backer, strong safety, rolled down nickel, whatever you want to call it. And so what I'm trying to create here for our quarterbacks is when they pull to throw, they should at least only have 1 foot. If both feet are outside the box, it means their footwork is too wide. It means that they're overstriding, that they're not staying compact and with a good throwing base. So here you can see just nice and easy. Now, sometimes we'll throw, sometimes we'll not. I think it's important, for your cues. A lot of good reps can happen without throwing the ball. All right. We as quarterbacks probably get the second to third most indie, in a practice behind the O-line and D-line because of special team stuff. And so making sure, yet again, like you can see, I'm giving them different, I'm plugging for the run. I'm going out. I'm also, you can see, I'm giving them numbers with my hand, creating different stimuluses. Hey, what are you looking at? How much are you looking at me? Okay. So not only are they reading me, so they're showing pull to throw because I'm coming in, but now they're yelling out what number I'm putting up. So just trying to create those different stimuluses. I think it's really important. Like, be creative. Be creative. Find different ways to get your guys engaged to make sure that their focus point is good. They're small things, but let's do it. So here's some second level ones. And then now here's some third level ones. So now third level, now you're talking about throwing like that 5-step slant, that glance, that bang, that, man post, whatever you want to call it. I've heard it called 3 different things. But you can see this is really important as we throw here, really focusing on ball handling. All right. And making sure that we are not having both feet outside the box once we throw. So nice and composed, good footwork. It's a good stimulus for them to be in the box. They can check themselves when they're done. We're throwing every time here. And what we're really doing is just focusing on great footwork, getting our throwing base back underneath us, 45-degree kind of cutoff footwork, some type of gap scheme probably. Getting that back foot back in the ground and throwing. You can really see by using the box, it's reinforcing our guys. Like none of them are overstriding. This is really important too, because remember, it's a run play. It's not a pass protection. So if we overstride, right? If we get too far downhill, what are we doing? We're making it tougher on the O-line. We're going to make it where now they have to really be more stout. Now we're blaming them for something we shouldn't blame them for. So a couple looks there. Okay, so we've gotten some individual drills done. Now let's talk about schemes. Okay, so first thing we're talking about is man post. Okay, some people call it a glance, some people call it a bang route, whatever it is, 5-step slant. Now for us, all right, this is a third level RPO. Okay, we call this a manipulation. Okay, what we mean by manipulation is a post snap read. Okay, access is pre-snap, manipulation is post snap. So this has ability to convert to a fade versus friction. What we call friction is any type of contact 5 yards and down. I used to live in a world of, hey, when he's pressed, you do this well, guys will press bail. And when he press bails, he doesn't touch you. And so therefore we should stay with the man post, right? So what we call friction is any type of contact 5 yards and down, okay? Conceptually, we learn this as a man read or an area read. And so what I mean by that is, some people will say, oh, well, you just read the safety. Well, to me, as we've evolved as an RPO team, we really talked about the area because they can affect that area different ways. They can slice the corner and put the safety over the top. They can drive the safety down and bail the corner back. They can roll the safety to the middle of the field and cloud the corner back, really read the area. Okay. And so it's good to start with a man read, especially for drills. But as you really talk about is, hey, do they have a defender in the man post area? If they don't, we should attack green grass. All right. We should attack that green grass. And that's where you get a little bit more into that like it, take it mentality. That's when you get a little bit more into the idea of, hey, let's be aggressive. We can attach this man post to both zone and gap scheme, but we must be conscious of how we're protecting our edges, right? Well, I can't stand this. You watch people run a man post and they don't block the DN. They just don't block the DN. And somehow he's supposed to make a third level throw off a non-block DN. Like, we're going to have to make sure we protect our quarterback at the first level so that he can be successful and not take an unnecessary hit. So going to work through some man posts here. So here we go. What I love about this, and as we talk about progression as an offense, we RPO 81% of the time, right? And so the easy thing to say is, oh, you throw a bunch of man posts, you throw a bunch of RPOs, receivers got the best job in the world. They run a route, and if they don't get the ball, they're done. No. The next level is how can we turn our routes into blocks? So here we're going to get double man posts here, right? And what these guys are taught is if you don't get the ball, you better go find the near safety and get a block. So you should know that. And so I love this first clip because a lot of people say, oh, well, you run RPOs to throw the ball. No, we run RPOs to control the box.